has broken like the first morn. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Well, copyright infringements be doggoned anyway. Welcome, welcome. Let's start with a prayer. Father, we are grateful for the blessings of this beautiful day. We are grateful for the privilege and opportunity that we have to be able to wake up and to be able to experience whatever comes forth. Father, we are grateful for good friends and neighbors and family members that help us to overcome whatever stress and anxiety that we may think we have in this world. We're grateful, Father, for all the love and support that we receive and that we're able to give back. Father, these things we pray in thy Son's name. Amen. And we're just grateful for everything. Why not? You know, I found after years and years and years of being ungrateful that it was just more fun to be grateful. It was easier to be grateful. It was more fun, and it rejuvenated and re-energized. Well, let's get on with the show, shall we? Welcome, everybody, to the Hobo Hideaway. Yes, indeed, this is the Hobo Hideaway. And this segment's called Talking Shit with Jack Schitt. I am your host, Jack Schitt. You don't know shit till you get to know Jack Schitt, so come on, get to know me. And if you ever own any of my artwork, you own an original piece of shit. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so any kind of information that we may share here at all is strictly for documentary, educational, and entertainment purposes only. We do not buy, sell, or trade anything ever. And any opinions that may be expressed here are strictly the opinions of myself or anybody who decides to leave a comment in the comment section. All comments are welcome, absolutely. And what else? I think that's pretty much it on the disclaimer stuff and the opening stuff and whatnot. So now we just talk. I don't really got a subject today in mind. I just felt like I better do a video because it's been a minute. I haven't been able to do any shout outs for a while because the computer's overheating and whatnot. And I didn't have a decent air conditioner that was working for my window. Because I got to have a window unit. We don't got central air. And, well, somebody was throwing away one of their old air conditioners because they got a new one. And so they donated it to me. And I put it in the window, and it seems to be working just fine, keeping the room cooled down. So as soon as I can get my computer back up and going again, I guess I'll start doing shout outs again. I got to tell you, though, I like doing shout outs. I found with all the different stuff that I've tried to post and put up and whatever, I think doing the shout outs is my favorite thing to do. I like doing these conversation videos where I'm just talking. It's not a real conversation because I'm just talking to myself. But since I got multiple personality syndrome, I've got multiple people up in here to visit with. I'm never bored and I'm never lonely. I promise you that. There's too many of me up in here to visit with all the time. And man, I wish some of them would just shut the F up. Shut their mouths. Shut the front door. But it is what it is. Been dealing with it most of my life. Don't care. Doesn't matter anymore. Just deal with it. I suppose I can let them give me a lobotomy. They said that'll help, but I don't want a lobotomy. And they said, well, we can put a microchip in you and program you to be a certain way. And I said, yeah, I don't want your microchip in me either. Thank you very much. And then they said, well, we can put you on all these drugs that'll just make you dumb down and be like comatose all the time. And I said, nah, I don't want that either. I'll just live with all of myself and I just will be just fine. We can handle it. We've been doing it for 50-something years now. We can keep on doing it. But yeah, good times, man. But I haven't been able to do my artwork because my hand's not working proper, and hopefully that'll be fixed. I got the surgery for the carpal and cubital tunnel on my right arm on the 30th of July, and 2 weeks later they'll do the left side. And then hopefully, if everything goes right, then by September I should be back up and running in my shop. I'll be making marbles and doing wood carvings and making wind chimes and all the good fun things that I like to make. And then I'll be able to make videos doing that again. That'll be nice. And then yeah, I've got several different counselors now. So when I started doing these talking videos, it was because I needed someone to talk to. I needed counseling, and I just couldn't afford a shrink. Well, now I've got the Medicaid insurance, and so they pay for me to get shrinks, and they pay for lots of shrinks because they want more than one opinion about how crazy I really am. And the fact is, with how crazy I really am, according to their definition of crazy, I'm talking. Yeah, they need more than one person handling me. So somebody was here today, somebody was here yesterday. In fact, I had a telehealth with the one counseling gal this morning, and then another social worker gal came over to help fill out my paperwork for my disability again, because they denied me again. Doggone it anyway. Yeah, they don't like me, man. They don't want to give me back all the money that I paid into their system all my life. That's just the way it is. They take your money and take your money and take your money. They call it taxes. They call it when you get your paycheck and you get your paycheck stub, they got this whole list of different organizations that take out little bits of money all the time. Well, they kept taking that out my whole life, and yeah. So that's what they call. I call it extortion myself, but they call it taxes. And then they don't want to give it back to you when the time comes, because, well, it's their money, not yours. Didn't you know that? I mean, I didn't know that, but evidently I'm learning real quick that it's their money, not mine. Even though I thought it was my money, I'm the one that earned it and paid into the system or whatever. The system. Yeah, that poop shoot that the system is. And then, they just don't want to give it back. And that's a problem in my mind. I don't agree with it, but, I'm thinking maybe I need to run for politics, maybe, because, the only people that are making any money in this world that we live in today are the politicians. If you work for the government, you get paid. If you don't work for the government, then you got to pay. Something like that. I think that's how it works. I'm not real sure. But I was thinking about maybe, we got all these crazy people running the government now, man. I'd fit right in. I might just be crazy enough to be a politician. I could go start out in my local city and run for one of these local township city positions, and then work my way up the ranks like everybody does. And yeah, maybe I'll start getting some of them big fat envelopes from the corporations too. Some of them new fancy technologies and whatnot. I don't know. I probably couldn't handle it on a moral standpoint. It's below me, I think, to be a politician. I couldn't do that to the world. I like helping people too much. I couldn't be a politician. Politicians don't help people. They hurt people. They take from people. They control people. They make everybody feel angry and belittled and small. That's what politicians do. They don't do anything at all to help any person, civilian, citizen, not in any country on this planet. Oh, I know, I hear people all the time saying, well, we get this, that benefit, this benefit, blah, blah, blah. Some countries got free health care. Their food definitely is a lot healthier than ours here in the U.S. because the U.S. is got all these non-regulations. All the other countries got more regulations and whatnot. Anyway, something like that. I mean, I heard Mountain Dew is illegal in most other countries, and yet most people drink it like water here in the U.S. Yeah, highly toxic. Most soda pops are. And most of our food like products contain all kinds of artificial ingredients and don't have very many natural ingredients left in them. If you read the label of ingredients, you'll see that they got all this uh, fun names for all their different ingredients, glucoses and glyphosines and whatnot. But you'll also see that it'll say down there genetically engineered organisms. What? Genetically modified engineered organisms that they put in all of our food now, all our food like products. So when you go buy your cereal and all that, it's full of genetically modified organisms. When you buy canned goods, it's full of genetically modified organisms. Don't take my word for it. Go to the store and start reading the labels your own self. And they do. They put it on the labels because they have to, but they also know that most people are too lazy to give a crap and look. Or most people don't want to know because they like their ho-hos, Twinkies, and all that whatnot, the junk food. Little Debbie, man, Little Debbie, she's the biggest drug dealer there ever was. Oatmeal cream pies. Loved Little Debbie's cream pies. Her oatmeal cream pies. Yep, and them honey buns. Loved her honey buns. But that stuff just makes us sick. And then we got to go to the doctors, and the doctors give us the pharmaceutical drugs that make us even sicker. And next thing you know, we're dying. And I think sometimes that's what they're trying to do. For decades now, they've been trying to deplete the population by systematically and slowly poison us with our food supply and our medical system. I do. I think that completely. I believe it to be completely true. And I don't like the word belief, I tell you, but I believe that to be true. And I only believe that to be true based off of the evidence that I've gathered, all the puzzle pieces throughout the decades that fit together to create the great picture that's exactly what they're trying to do, is to wipe us out one way or another. And we got these data centers going in, and they're telling us, well, these data centers are going to help you, and you'll have faster modems and faster network and faster whatever and whatnot. But all I've been having is problems with all their systems since they've been working on this stuff. And that's just temporary problems. They'll fix those and work those bugs out and whatnot. Well, then next thing you know, I'm hearing that actually all these data centers are part of the police state. And it's more than just them monitoring us all the time. They're putting these data centers in geographic locations, and they're all connected. And when you look at it from a map where they're all at, it looks just like the way the brain's mapped out. It's like they're building their own giant brain worldwide. The whole world is going to be this brain, this thinking AI, ginormous AI controlling everything else. And that AI is feeding off of whatever we put into it. When we make these videos, when we give them the information, the AI is eating that up, consuming it to learn from, and eventually the human factor will no longer be needed. Or maybe all of that has already happened, and everything we're bearing witness to is just the simulation playing itself out. And they've already milked us dry for all of this knowledge and information so they could build the matrix. Now, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of theories about what may be, what is, what can be, what was. And, we just don't really know. I don't know. I don't know nothing, man. I'll tell you, I'm the first one that don't know shit. Absolutely. And the more I learn, the greater my ignorance is realized. That's true fact. There's just too much going on and it's constantly changing. 1 minute we're supposed to be living life like this, and the next minute we're supposed to be living it like this, and the next minute it's way over here, and then it's way over there somewhere. And it's just never changes. It's constantly changing. It's, I hear people all the time, how am I going to get monetized on the YouTube? That's a good example of the goalpost changing, because they say, okay, you need to get this far with it, do this much. Oh no, now you got to do this much. Now you got to do this much. Oh wait, all that other stuff you did don't matter no more. It's deleted and doesn't matter, doesn't apply. Now you got to do all that stuff all over again. And then you only get this much money, whereas if I went to go work for a factory, I'd get a regular paycheck. So you're doing a full-time job to get part-time pay, not even part-time pay, So, yeah, I'd say they're winning. They're winning big time. And then, but that's just one example of the goalpost changing. In our everyday life, I've talked about this before, the American dream, which was that was just a sales pitch that they used to sell cars and houses back in the day. But it stuck, and everybody got this idea that we're supposed to be able to live the American dream. Well, that's a lie. There is no such thing as the American dream. That it's a false concept. That's how they do it. They convince you to believe in a false concept that you can never achieve. They convince all of us to want to strive and work hard to achieve these goals in life that are unachievable. They don't exist. How many people out there that are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s that feel like they're never going to be able to retire because of that? They try to get Social Security, like myself, and can't get Social Security benefits. What up with that? I took all day yesterday to mow 3/4 of my backyard, or my whole yard, to get my lands with help. That was, the wife helped push the lawnmower, or a couple of young Mormon missionaries came over and helped do yard work, and still we didn't get it all done. So even with the 20-year-old young men and my wife and I out there, and we still didn't get it all done. I got to try and get some done today. So if I can't even do that, I can't even stand to get the dishes done all at once. I got to do a little bit of dishes and take a break, and do a little more and take a break. Then how do they expect me to be able to go do a full-time 9-to-5 job, at anywhere? Oh, they told me, oh no, you're still capable of working. This is what they told me when they denied me. You're still capable of working. You're capable of management. I was like, right on, give me a job, I'll take it. Oh no, we don't assign jobs. We're just telling you you're capable of doing it. I said, well, then tell all the employers and corporations and companies out there that I'm capable of being a manager and they should hire me. Well, no, that's not how it works. I said, well, that's how it should work. If you're not going to give me my disability and you're telling me I'm capable of doing a job position in the corporate realm, then you need to assign me that position. Otherwise, shove it up your ass. I'm sorry. You bureaucratic bullshit. I'm just saying. It is. It's all bureaucratic bullshit. Every last bit of it. They just want to tell you that you have to continue to be a slave for the rest of your life, and you're never allowed to reap the benefits and rewards of all the hard work of your life. That's why I believe that the government is worthless. They don't do nothing good for the people. They don't help the people. They only serve one purpose, and that is to enslave the people, to maintain the slavery of the people, and then to eliminate any unworthy or unuseful product, which is us, the people. But that's how I see it. That's just my opinion. I believe it completely. And yes, I am probably wrong and completely full of shit. I'm pretty used to that. I am jack shit after all. It would stand to reason. But, from my understanding, if I remember correctly, it's my daughter whose name is Fula. My son's name is Bull. Yeah, Fula and Bull. Yep, I love them. They're awesome kids. Wish they'd come around and act right when they do. But I'd rather they didn't come around if they can't act right. you know. So that's a blessing too, even though I complain that the kids don't want to come around and visit and all that. The fact is, when they do come around, they don't act right, and I wish they weren't around. So I'd rather them not come around than to come around and not act right. Yeah, we get to live in a nice, peaceful environment, almost too peaceful, I'll tell you, because I find myself bored a lot lately. I want to get back to work in my shop. I want to work on projects and make artworks, create things. Yeah, buddy. So I'll tell you, they keep offering me all these new, Band-Aid solutions that they have, and they're not real solutions. They're just Band-Aid solutions. I mean, a temporary fix. And so when they decide that they're going to offer me the new body, I'll take that. They have that technology, where they can transfer the consciousness from one biological organism to another. So that's why they've been cloning for the longest time now. And then the old people, they die off, the elitists, they die, the old body gets sick or whatever, and they transfer the consciousness from that dying body into the brand new young body, and they retain all their memory and knowledge and information. But yet now they got a real strong, buff, agile body. Yeah. But vitality, man. Woo, buddy. Strength and energy. Let's go. Yep. So that's why when the queen passed away and they were doing that process of transfer and all that, something went wrong, and you could hear them in the background saying, "Oh no, something went wrong. No, she's really dead this time." You didn't hear about that? Yeah, it was a whole thing, man. They leaked tapes and all that. But of course, they tried to discredit it, saying, "Oh no, they're fakes, AI fakes." And well, now that they're releasing all the AI to the people to use and everything, they can back that up. Here, you all use AI. You can make AI fakes anytime you want. Any technologies that we get that they release to us, they've been utilizing for at least 30 or 40 years already. It's always been like that. It's been like that, always has been, always will be, still is today. Acceptance. I accept that that's just the way it is. Now I figure out what I'm going to do about it. I ain't going to do nothing to stop it, but I'm going to do something to utilize it. When the technologies come to available, just like these videos with this video technology. I remember when I worked for the phone company, we were installing the equipment for them to be able to use it. And we were using this kind of stuff in the corporate world back in the 90s and early 2000s. And now here we are in 2026, and it's free to the public, and it's daily life. Everybody's video chatting and everybody's video conferencing, and my counseling is video chat, and my lawyers are video chat, my court stuff is video chat, my business stuff is video chat. Everything's video anymore, conferencing. even YouTube. And this right here is all video conferencing. Video conferencing. Whoop, whoop. Voice over IP. That's what we called it. You know, IP is Internet Protocol. So it's voice over Internet Protocol. Yeah, VoIP. 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 That was fun. We were switching everything from analog over to digital and getting rid of all the copper wire, you know, stranded wire everywhere, and putting in fiber optics. And I remember doing all that fun stuff for a long time. And then I said, okay, have fun. I'm out of here. And I started the Hobo Hideaway. And here we are. That was in 2008. I let go of the corporate world and started the Hobo Hideaway and been running it ever since. And it's been a great adventure with a lot of evolution, and it changes constantly. It's a fun deal, man. So, you know, with everything that's going on in the world, I accept the fact that the time on this planet for humanity is coming to an end. It's really is. And so it's not about quality of life. I'm sorry. It's not about quantity of life anymore. How much longer I got left. It's about quality of life. How well I want to live my life. How much I want to accomplish myself in what time I have left. And in order to do that without getting frustrated and stressed out, I focus right here, right now on what I have in front of me. So, the weather being what it is, I can't get outside to do the yard work, so I can't stress about not being able to do that. Instead, I got to focus on what I can do. So I'm indoors. I'm making a video now. When I'm done with that, I'm going to go eat some lunch. I'm going to wash up the dishes, and I've got laundry to do. And I got some sweeping and mopping. Oh, I hate sweeping and mopping, but I got sweeping and mopping to do. And then later on, hopefully, I'll be able to get back down to the basement. And I got a bunch of stuff I got to haul up out of there. And all the stuff that got water damage gets tossed. So I got piles going. And I got stuff that's still good. And I got to decide if I'm going to get rid of it. I think I'm just going to get rid of pretty much everything. And start minimizing everything and start, yeah, it's time just to get rid of stuff. It's time to shed it all. And the goal is, if long term or whatever, short term, long term, whatever, is if we can get ourselves to the point where we can move. I want to move. I want to get rid of this house and I want to find a new place and reestablish the Hobo Hideaway somewhere else, relocate. And that's what I want to do, you know. But I don't know what the universe has in store for me. And so I'm just going to do what I can to focus on whatever that desire of mine is. And if the universe allows it, then it will be. And if the universe don't allow it, then it won't be. And I use the word universe. I also equate that to existence or God. You know, however you want to put it, however you want to put it, your business. But the spiritual realm of things, all of existence itself, the universe, all of whatever, the powers that be, the energy that controls and flows through all of us. Imagine that. So yeah, if it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, it won't be. Simple as that. And I'm the only one that's going to make it more complicated. You know, that's each and every time, no matter what it is. I'm the one that makes it complicated. Otherwise, life is actually really easy. But we make it complicated. But yeah, I'm going to try to do my best not to be complicated today, complicate my own problematic situation. And I'm going to get my dishes done and my chores done and some food in my belly and then yeah, function. And yeah, it's already midday, so I don't know what I'll get done. hopefully this evening, after it cools down a little bit and the sun's way down over there giving me a lot of shadow, I'll be able to get out there and finish mowing the yard and maybe pulling a few more weeds. And I probably should pick all them raspberries that are looking purple right now. You know, I mean, if I don't, then the birds lead them, the bugs lead them. They'll fall down into the ground and plant new raspberry bushes. Yeah, it's all a thing. It's a thing. So I'm going to go handle my thing. You all better handle your thing, I suppose, since it's your thing. And yeah, good luck, everybody. Till next time, remember, kindness is the key. And I love you. Later.